Satnam. There we go. Welcome to Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Day 30. Oh, it's good to check in with yourself. How's it going? What are you unraveling? What are you uncovering? What are you noticing? Interesting times we live in on all fronts. It's quite a ride. You try to see the positive, you try to see the goodness in the world, but it doesn't mean that the shit doesn't keep happening, right? So there's still things that happen that trigger. There are things that happen that set us off or attempts to set us off, but we don't, right? Because we're doing this kriya and it's really, really helping us to stay in our center, to not blow up, and that we're much more understanding and letting things unfold on their own accord without trying to manipulate it in any way, except that we're just staying in our loving presence and holding space for anything that's happening out there. Okay, so let's tune in and then we'll begin our practice. Hands at the heart center. These videos are getting shorter and shorter. Hopefully you're smooth sailing through this. We only have 10 days left. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply again, lengthening the spine. Exhale. Let's inhale deeply to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Jugadgure Name, Sadgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name, Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Sadgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name, Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Sadgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Deeply inhale. Exhale, relax. Satnam. Okay. Well, if you ever are curious to see what it looks like to not want to do this, this is it right here, right now. I really don't want to do this right now. I really didn't want to be here, and I actually did have a thought like, well, why don't you do it later? No. You know, the beauty of having a practice at the same time every day is that it develops that consistency. And then when you do have little hiccups and like this internal resistance, it becomes really, really clear. Because when the practice is flowy and you could do it at any time of the day, and some of us have to do that sometimes, but when it's continuously like that, just fitting it in wherever you can, it's easier to keep pushing it. But when you have a solid time frame where you need to show up, like a scheduled appointment, whenever resistance shows up, it's very clear. It's, you know, no denying it. So piggyback off last week. I'm still processing my own things in relation to family matters and stuff. On top of that, there is a course that starts today about redemption and second coming of the Moshiach, Judaism speaking. So I'm curious about that, but I also don't believe in redemption stuff. Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does it mean to redeem somebody? Like, why? You know, I didn't ask to be born. What am I? Anyway, so is this like curiosity about it, and I'm wanting to partake in a class, but then there's other voice that says, you have better literature to read. Well, I don't know. I use word better. That's in my limited mind thinking, you know. So far, all the courses that I've taken in Judaism have been very, very, very eye-opening and satisfying. So I think it's just the word redemption and second coming of the Messiah, Moshiach, I don't know how to pronounce it even correctly, is really interesting to me. He hasn't come yet. What makes them feel that he's gonna come? Anyway, whatever. So I am internally conflicted with that, right? That was yesterday's meditation, kind of what came up, because the course starts today, so I'm on crunch time to make a decision. And if I commit fully, so that's 5 weeks or 6 weeks course every week. I don't just like dip my toe and then decide to quit, and I quit. If I make a decision to go, I go. All right, so fists of anger to help us express our energy. You know, the mudra, thumb is pressing onto Mercury mound. Mercury is communication, so this is a mudra of expression, right? So that's what we're doing. Backward strokes, O-shaped mouth with the breath of fire. Making sure your navel is working, not your collarbones here. It shouldn't be coming here, and it should not be at the chest. So just really pause and check yourself out. Make sure you're doing it as best as you can and as properly as you can. Okay, so here we go. Gazing to the third eye. Let's start with the breath first. Begin with the arms. Deep inhale, stretch the arms overhead, interlace the fingers. Squeeze the root lock, squeeze the muscles in the back. Two more times. Inhale deeply, interlace the fingers, palms stretching up. Lift up on the sit bones. Pull the root lock. Last time. And just bringing your hands onto your lap or onto your knees. And go within just for a moment. Inquire what parts of you that you don't know yet about yourself. What else is hidden in the psyche, deep in the subconscious? That now is the time to let it go. Just ask, be curious. Let's inhale deeply. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. And when you're ready, open your eyes. The example that I'll share with you is that our mind always tries to find solutions. So say I have a dilemma, a challenge, and I'll give you a fresh example from last week or so. I was driving to my chiropractor's office, and on the way there's a fruit stand, and so I mentally was mapping my path because I don't like to go zigzag. I like to kind of go straight and not waste gas. And so I picked up the fruit, and then I also had to run to Costco, which is 3 boys at home. I'm like at Costco more than I want to be. And so the dilemma was, oh, I'd have to drop it off and then drive out and then come back, and I don't like to do that. And so in my mind, I was trying to figure out what would be the best thing to do, because once I get home, I don't want to leave. And lately, especially yesterday, I was really faced with sitting, how I'm dreading to go out and take care of basic needs like shopping, errands. You know, it's like I don't want to go anywhere, which is weird. So I'm gonna have to address that. But as I'm driving and my mind is trying to calculate my route, and then finally it's like, you know what, just drive, just go and get your produce and then drive. And as I was driving on this road, there was another road that kind of loops around and takes you straight to Costco, which my mind was not bringing that idea out. And in that moment, I realized, like, oh my God, there it is. Like, if you just put the question out there to the universe, if you just genuinely feel curious or inquire about something, the universe will give you the answers. I mean, it will show the way. So a lot of times we kind of take it upon ourselves to really, you know, figure everything out and every little detail. And sometimes it's not necessary, which was a perfect reminder of that to myself. As I was driving, I noticed the road through this community meadow point. I'm like, oh my God, there, I could go around, hit the Costco, and then just get home. Problem solved, just like that. When I relax my mind and let go of trying to figure it out, the solution presented itself. And it happens quite often if you notice it. Okay, so for our meditation, again, hands on the chest. We're not using a metronome, and so I'm curious about your feedback. How are you doing with the breath? send me a message, post a little comment. I'm just curious to see if the metronome makes a difference, or if you're able to really kind of stay with the breath and inhaling and exhaling and being relaxed during that suspension. That's really the key, is that suspension. It's the moment of stillness, and we are learning to be calm and unflustered while we're suspending the breath, while we're giving a chance to our body to figure out its pranic allocation, if you will. Okay, its pranic reserves. All right, so here we go. Eyes are 9/10 closed or fully closed, focusing at the brow point. Sitting up nice and tall, so we want to have lengthened spine, chin tucked in, chest, heart open. Let's take a deep inhale together. And full exhale. And now begin. Inhaling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspending the breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Continue at your pace. Inhaling for 5. Exhaling for 5. Suspending the breath out between 12 to 15 seconds. Make this your last round. And when you're ready, deeply inhale. Suspend the breath, engage the mula bandh. Hold the gaze to the brow point. Exhale. Inhale again. Stretch your arms up. Press the root lock. Exhale. Inhale and shake your arms. Shake the spine, shake the whole body. Exhale. And just stay in this meditative space for a moment. Go within. Let's take a deep inhale, a sigh or an exhale, and 2 more times. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes. Okay, so that completes the practice for today. Let's seal it with one long Sat Nam. Hands in front of the heart center, prayer mudra. Inhale, exhale first. Inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, thank you so much for joining. So this is what it feels like to do the practice when, you know, when you don't want to, getting it done and, you know, appreciating yourself for still showing up. Sat Nam, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Ciao.